I'm Michelle Ely from the Starling Tribune, an Arrow TV show fan podcast, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other amazing geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 346 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, February 3rd, 2019. And yes, I did have to check my show notes to remember what episode it was because I didn't remember. Yeah.
Wait, what number was it again?
This is 346.
All right, so that's 311 plus 35. Episode 311 plus 35.
What is the significance of the 35 here for you?
Oh no, it's 311. That's the significant one.
Oh, are we still going back to our 311 giveaway that we never did? That we never promised to do?
The 311 cruise. Chris has got you. Call it now. 10th caller gets it down.
I'd rather go on Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager when he does round 2. That sounds like more fun.
I just figured it was 347 dicks that Willie had sucked. Try not to suck any dick on the way to the parking lot.
So hold on a second. So you're getting Chris Jericho's sloppy seconds? Is that what you're asking for?
I want to go on his cruise. I think it'd be fun.
That wouldn't be bad at all.
I'm not sure what he's agreeing with. Is he agreeing with me about the sloppy seconds?
The dude's a wrestling star and a rock star. I would happily take Chris Jericho's sloppy seconds.
Wait, he's actually in a band?
Yes, he's
Dude,
been
you
in
never heard of
Fozzy for
Fozzy?
like 20 years.
Yeah, they've gone on world tour like multiple times. He has an actual rock and roll band. He's a legit rock and roll star.
I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just news to me. I never heard of it.
Yeah, in one of his off seasons, or I think possibly during one of his injuries, he had been interested in music, and he finally said fuck it and got to put a band together and went on tour. And yeah, now they do like world tours, like they're a legit rock band.
He's been doing it since like the mid or late 90s, I think.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, I want to say
awesome.
it was when he got injured in WCW.
Well, damn. Well, I'm sorry to derail your intro, Chris. So I'll continue
You're
on.
not sorry.
No, it's okay. We got to talk about Y2J, as he used to be known, Chris Jericho.
I was there that time.
Wow. Walls down.
Wow.
So here's something I didn't realize. I listened to Jericho's podcast, Talk is Jericho, and I don't listen to every episode. I don't care as much about the music-based episodes, but more like the wrestling stories or wrestling personalities he brings in. I didn't realize that Chris Jericho is 48 years old. And then I went back and thought, man, I'm old. Because I remember being like a teenager, like, Jericho's on Raw! Yeah!
Yeah. Well, and the amazing thing is, like, when you look at him now, fucking that DDP Yoga, or they just changed the name of it.
DDPY.
DDPY, yeah. They're calling it something else again. But, like, that shit is amazing because Chris Jericho has basically done nothing but that for the past 8 years. And in the last interview I saw with him, he said he was in the best shape of his life and he doesn't lift weights anymore.
Yeah. His last show, I think, was with DDP actually in studio. And they were talking about DDP yoga. And when he screwed up his back, Jericho, it was from doing Dancing with the Stars. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And I think it was Shawn Michaels that recommended DDP yoga to him. And he said, like, within 3 weeks, 85% of my pain was gone. Within 5 weeks, I had no pain in my back anymore. He goes, and I haven't stopped doing it since. So
awesome.
It seems to make a lot of sense for recovery and also for, like, weight loss and weight management. Because I guess DDP was talking about, like, their prime example right now is a dude that started it last year and has lost 190 pounds in 1 year. Basically eating healthier and doing DDP yoga.
Well, I do want to say I was not laughing at the yoga itself, just the name. Just the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, originally, one of their first videos they put out, like when he first started the thing, like one of the first, I want to say 100 customers, like, because like originally DDP was like emailing everybody back and like directly contacting every customer that ordered the program because he was starting it and, you know, he wanted to have really good customer service. They had a guy who had to walk around on the arm crutches, who was an airborne ranger who had broken his back and was over 300 pounds and was told he'd never walk again unassisted. He's one of like the main videos that they've shared on YouTube. It's got like a couple million hits or whatever. But like at the end, like it shows him doing the DDP yoga during all the different stages. Because one of the things he does in his program is everything's like if DDP shows you how to do a move, there's someone behind him doing a tougher version of that move, and someone to the other side of him doing an assisted, easier version of that move, like using a chair or something to hold yourself up. And this guy started that program using like basically all the lower assisted versions, and then by the end of the video, he's doing like they show him like literally running down a beach. Like he was told he would never walk again, and then he's like 250 pounds lighter and running. Yeah, it's a hell of a program.
I've considered trying it out because it's like a subscription-based thing. You can get the app and you can throw it up on your big screen and stuff like that. I have considered it. Who knows? Maybe I'll try it at some point in time. It does look like it makes a difference. And if you ever have a chance, there's a documentary. I was on Netflix. I don't believe it's there anymore. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, which is, if you weren't aware, Jake the Snake Roberts up until a few years ago was like really run down, unhealthy. He was addicted to alcohol and things like that. And
cocaine.
He went to DDP for help, and DDP put him up in one of his houses that he calls, quote, the accountability crib. And him and Scott Hall, he put them both up in there, put them on DDP yoga, tried to help them get their lives fixed. And if you look at Jake the Snake now, he's hit the WWE Hall of Fame. He's healthy. He's dropped a bunch of weight. He's doing the convention circuit. He's sober. It's incredible. Like, the dude had trouble walking across a room and sitting down, and now he's doing like acrobatic kind of stuff. Like, maybe that's a bit over exaggeration, but like he has no problem moving around a room, squatting down to pick things up, doing his DDP yoga every day. So it's very interesting how the success of DDP yoga has translated to these athletes that have just been beat to hell.
Yeah, and that one, like that movie fucking killed me. That was such a good movie. Because also, I love the fact that I can't remember who it was, but one of the producers basically, they had the argument with Jake about whether or not they were going to show everything, really. And like, he's in the house and he sneaks away and goes and gets drunk. Like, they show him fuck up.
Yeah.
Because it's literally a dude fighting like a 40-year addiction. And yeah, at the start of that movie, and like when all of this thing started with Jake the Snake, like he'd been disowned by his family. He couldn't talk to any of his kids because his exes wouldn't let him. And now like he has a good relationship with his kids. I think his daughter's on tour with him because he's actually touring, doing comedy shows like Mick Foley, where they just talk and tell old wrestling stories because these motherfuckers got some stories. They were on cocaine for 30 years. Like, shit happened. But yeah, that movie, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, I bought it on Google Play when it first came out, when DDP was just advertising the hell of it, trying to get people to watch it before it went on Netflix. And it is an amazing film. And yeah, it's fucking heartbreaking because that dude went through some shit. And, you know, he had a fucked up childhood, and then he did some shit when he was an adult that was fucked up, like just all fucked up. But yeah, fantastic. Yeah, DDP, I love that guy because he was definitely not my favorite wrestler, but he has saved some of my favorite wrestlers.
Dude, in the hustle that he has, like he's all over. Not in a bad way when I say this, but promoting this program because he's seen how it helped himself and others. The dude, I didn't realize until he was talking to Jericho on this last show, he's 62 years old.
Yeah,
and he's out doing this.
He didn't become the heavyweight champion at WCW until he was like 40.
Yeah, he was like 41, something like that.
Yeah, he was like the oldest first-time champ in wrestling. He didn't start pro wrestling until he was like 36. And everybody told him he was too old to even start. Yes. Yeah, DDP's got a hell of a story. One of these days, there's going to be a movie about him. That's going to be a hell of a fucking movie.
He's got 2 or 3 books out now, and I guess he just signed a deal with the NFL Retired Players Committee or whatever, that DDPY is being used to help a bunch of those older football players that are breaking down and stuff, too. That was why he was in Atlanta for the Super Bowl this week, was to talk about that and to kind of get folks started on that. So,
that's fucking awesome.
Kudos to him for the hustle.
If I didn't know about that, I'd have made that my news of the week.
Yeah, you guys are upsetting me a little bit now.
Why are we upsetting you, Willie? What's wrong?
You're forgetting Diamond Dallas Page was in one of the greatest wrestling movies ever made.
No.
We're talking about good shit, not that stupid
I'm talking about the greatest. Can I hear what the title is? I know you know it. Say it loud and proud.
No.
I'm not going to say it.
Ready to rumble.
I think you owe Michael Buffer $17 now because you just said it that way.
Yeah,
or Bruce Buffer, either way.
Which, they're all buffers.
Better be the fluffer.
Better a buffer than a fluffer.
Here we go from these optimistic things, talking about people writing their lives, to fluffing.
And Willie takes it straight back to dick jokes.
Welcome to the All Things Good Nerdy podcast, where we take positive, influential things and equate them to dick jokes.
I mean, do I hear any complaints?
Not
chat room, do I see any complaints? No, I don't see any complaints in the chat room. And if I hear it after I just said this, That's bullshit. You know it. You can't argue about it now. It's too late. The polls are closed.
Oh boy.
I don't think that's true at all.
So
and it rhymed too.
Welcome everyone. We will try and go back to our normal habit here of making fun of things versus talking about optimistic and positive things. Welcome to the show. We've got the full crowd here today. What's been going on, gentlemen? And Willie?
Amazon's been going on.
Amazon's been going on. You've been spending some cash.
I bought a couple of books.
Well, if you're just spending stuff on Amazon, I can give you my address.
I still have your address. I've sent you stuff.
Actually, no. Anthem's been going on. That's
and I appreciate Dread. It is still beloved in my collection. It's over there now. It's a new look. I alphabetized all my Blu-rays and 4Ks. They're all nice and neat over there. I would still have them over here, but I can't reach over there anymore because the couch is now, or the love seat's moved over. As you can see, you've noticed my new location.
That is true.
I have the silver, no, it's the bronze. I can't remember which medal I won in the Beer Olympics right there on top of the
because you were the first loser.
Yeah, you were the first
goddamn
loser.
Right. Wow, I'm also silver in the Smash Bros. Tournament we had, too. I guess that's a streak I got going. I got a streak going on, guys!
What Willie's saying here is he's not good enough to win in any of these things.
Got a streak going on. Optimism at its best. Fuck y'all.
So before we get into the news of the week, you guys, have you been playing Anthem?
Much Anthem.
Do you want the good or the bad to go first?
I have played a little bit too, so I am prepared to participate in this Anthem conversation before we go into the news of the week. So whoever wants to start this, because I'm not the expert on the game, feel free to kick us off on your thoughts on Anthem on Demo Weekend 2. Willie has no thoughts. He left.
Willie's thoughts of the game are, I just got kicked from the server, which is what a lot of people's thoughts about Anthem are, which is they just got kicked from the server. Even up till last night, they did a patch this week that was supposed to fix a lot of the connectivity problems. My buddy Maya has still never seen the boss fight at the end of the first stronghold, the only one that's available in the demo, because twice he's been kicked right before that fight. Once due to the server actually kicking all of us, and then the second time there's this stupid feature where you have to play with 4 players in the stronghold. So this time we were a team of 3. We're going in, we're fighting our way through the stronghold, and one of the members of our team just decides to fly off ahead and go way too far into the mission. Well, whoever's ahead basically gets priority, and so the game will drag you to pull you up and catch up with your teammates. Well, the 4th person we were playing with decided to rush into the end room where the end boss was. So he runs into that room. It pulls the other 3 of us forward while we're all still loading up. The boss fight starts. It pulls 2 of us into the room with him for the boss fight, and it pulls our buddy Maya into the hallway where the door is that starts the boss fight, and the door's fucking closed. So he's literally outside a sanctioned area. We're on a 4-player instance, so there's nobody else coming or going, and they literally close the doors where he's basically stuck outside, and he's our tank, and he can't get into the actual boss fight. So we had to 3-man the final boss, and our buddy Maya, who's never seen the goddamn boss, is just standing out there waiting for the match to end. He was so pissed. Yeah, they still have a lot of issues, but it's a super fun game to play when it works and when it plays. It's freaking gorgeous. The flying is fun as hell. Building up your mechs is I enjoyed it. The appearance features, being able to change, basically the suits are all separated into 6 different pieces. Each of those 6 pieces you can change to a cloth or a metal or a plastic, and then change the color on that metal, plastic or cloth. So there's an unbelievable number of ways to change the way your suits look. And then it plays fun as hell. The only problem is that demo version that they came out with that now everybody got to play for free this weekend if you got in, which there were still issues with it. It still kicked people. I had the random audio bug yesterday too. During my last match with Colin, all the sound in the game turned off. I couldn't hear anything. Colin had the same problem that Willie had, where the game itself randomly turned his PlayStation 4 off, which we still don't know how the fuck that's even possible.
That happened after the show last Sunday.
Yeah, that happened to Colin last night.
So my understanding is the demo build here is 4 or 5 weeks old. It's not actually currently where they are. It was just a stable version they could put out as a demo. So some of these
supposedly
problems,
stable burst.
Yeah, I would assume. Well, I mean, it's a demo, so you're not going to have pure great stability. There's problems that are going to shake out, and that's partly why they're doing it. So yeah, there's still more to come.
Yeah, the problem is, I think Colin referred to it last night. He's like, this beta's not that good. And I'm like, see, that's the problem. If anybody thinks this is the beta for the game, then they're not going to order it. So if, the customers out there that may not know the difference between a beta and a demo might not be ordering this game after they played it live for free this weekend because, well, the demo's got fucking problems and it's buggy. So I'm definitely still happy I'm pre-ordering it, but I know there's other people that aren't now after having played it, So
I was talking to the guys in the Digital Soup podcast. Well, just guy, because only one guy was healthy last night in Digital Soup. About thoughts on Anthem and things like that. And I've put about 2.5, 3 hours into it playing on my Xbox. And while the game is pretty and the gameplay is fun, I just can't get into it. Maybe it's because they put me in the middle of the game where the story's already started because you're level 10 already. I don't care. There's no hook that makes me go, oh my god, I have to play this. I've had some fun moments on it, but I am not buying it at launch. I'm not pre-ordering it. And if I get it, it'll probably be 6-9 months down the road after the first price cut, and then I'll start playing it.
Well, here's my question for you then, Chris. Did you play Destiny?
I played Destiny 2 when I dropped to $20. I played it for about a week, couldn't get into it, and traded it back in when they were doing a big promo. So maybe I don't do well with these kind of games where it's the online cooperative shooters. Maybe that's just not my jam.
Yeah, that's the same place I'm at. It's just like Destiny or Destiny 2, if you want to refer to that, or the Division. It's all that. It's just the same thing. Like you're just going through motions, getting better guns, and get better equipment. That's all it really is. That if you like that, I can understand that. That makes sense. It's not for me. It doesn't sound like it's for you.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just what it is.
I'm a little conflicted on this one, though, because here's the thing. If this game doesn't do well, I don't know what BioWare does next. If it does do well, they're probably going to work on more Anthem content and not Mass Effect or Dragon Age content, which is what I really want. Although EA did just extend the trademark or whatever on the Jade Empire name that wasn't a great BioWare RPG back in the day. So maybe there's plans for other stuff, but I am not really a fan of these online cooperative shooters and stuff like this, and that seems to be the trend of where we're going with gaming right now. That and like battle royale kind of stuff. And those are really my thing.
I do want a clarification. What do you mean by do well? There's one of two things there: get reviewed well or sell well.
Sell well. I mean, because that's what it comes down to.
I'm sure it's already going to sell well.
Reviews don't mean shit as long as it sells well.
So it's going to be a combination of sell well and after the fact whether the fan base remains engaged or if they do something like EA is notorious for doing that turns the fan base against them and turns them toxic. Because let's be honest, we've seen it with Battlefront 2, and then arguably they fixed Battlefront 2, and it's a bit of a better game now, one could argue. But EA and Bethesda have both, with recent releases, just kind of missed the mark or done things that have angered the passionate fan base. Bethesda especially with Fallout 76. And I've said my piece on 76 on this show. I'm not going to bring it up anymore because then I just sound like I'm cranky and pissy.
Oh, you sound like Willie.
Yeah, it'd be like the angry cast from last week. But Anthem, it's pretty. It plays well. It looks gorgeous on the Xbox One X rendered in 4K. I just don't think it's me. Yes, I'm told there's a single player story in it and you can do a lot of it by yourself, but why I play BioWare games is like an engrossing story where you get to interact with people and build these relationships up. And it seems like you get some of that in town and then you get put together with a bunch of randos outside of town. So it doesn't really carry over. Maybe I just got spoiled with the single player kind of stuff I had with Mass Effect and Jade Empire and Dragon Age. And that's more what I want. And that's not what sells anymore, is these all-encompassing RPGs that are single player. That's not the big seller anymore.
You need to watch your mouth with that, buddy, because, I mean, Sony's proving you wrong, buddy.
What game are we talking about here?
Now, what exactly the type, how RPG-ish are you wanting this?
Not like old school JRPG, but more like the modern RPGs like you have in Mass Effect and Dragon Age kind of thing.
I mean, because you could kind of classify Spider-Man as an RPG because you build up your character with points and stuff. I mean,
Spider-Man's like action adventure. It's not.
It does have RPG elements.
It has RPG elements.
Does
yes, Spider-Man's
nowadays.
A great game, and Spider-Man is one of those rare things you have right now, which is a very good single-player game with no ambitions to try and tack on a bunch of other things for microtransactions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then there's also the argument.
They just give away their second and third free suits post-game, post-DLC.
Yeah. There's 2 more free suits for you, just thrown on in there. And then there's also the argument of, how many fucking systems is Skyrim on?
All of them?
Yeah. But Skyrim's how old? You can't really consider that anymore when
2011.
you're talking about modern gaming. Yeah, and it's 2019, so we're talking about an 8-year-old game now.
But it must still be selling on each of these different platforms because they keep coming out with this shit.
Yes, that is true. Now, I mean, there is other stuff like Tales of Vesperia and stuff like that came out on the Switch. I've been playing that. That's really good. I'm showing my age here a little bit. I really enjoy single-player campaigns that you don't have to reach out on the internet and find a bunch of people to play with. Those are fine and they have their place, but when I want to sit down and play a game, I can't guarantee one of my friends is online or something like that. So I'd rather just play a single-player game and then coordinate and be like, hey, you guys want to play such and such at a later time, and do that.
Then why don't you own, well, you do own now, a PlayStation. You got all those on the PlayStation. The exclusives, too.
Yes. And I play PlayStation games. I play
God
Xbox
of War,
games,
get Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn. Jesus Christ, I'm still championing that game. It is underrated.
Willie, Horizon, I have bought it. It's in my backlog. I need to finish the final DLC on Spider-Man, and I'm playing through an RPG on the Switch. And the Switch is a perfect platform for these RPGs because you can just pick it up and set it down whenever you want. I love playing Tales of Vesperia in handheld mode. It's great.
I can't wait for you to start playing because I want to talk to you more about it because that game did not get the praise it should have gotten. Sure is nominated for Game of the Year. It should have won. Fuck you, Zelda.
I've really...
not fuck you, Zelda. You're still fun, too.
Oh, you're
but
talking...
you didn't deserve that
You're talking Horizon.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I haven't started that one yet. And I've also got Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 for me to play at some time because I picked them up for like $10 each. And I have not picked up Kingdom Hearts 3. Can we talk
about that for just a second since it did come out, Kingdom Hearts 3?
Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3.
There is something I am disappointed in. Just a little small blurb.
Okay.
I saw my buddy playing it because I'm still on the fence about getting it because I got other stuff to play. I need to start, get through. Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. You think of Sora. What stands out the most to you about Sora?
Keyblades?
Well, about his person, like his body.
That he rocks jorts?
That he has ginormous fucking Disney feet. Cartoonish feet. They got rid of that, apparently, in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm wondering why the fuck they did that. Sure, it looks more realistic, but what happened? Did he get some surgery on his feet to make him smaller? Like those Russian ballerinas?
I don't know. Is there some kind of time delay or something between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3? Stuff like that? I don't know.
You think his feet shrunk as he got older?
I don't know. Maybe. He could have had corrective surgery, like you said.
Like I said, it's just a little small blurb. I mean, that's not going to stop me from buying it. I'm like, why Disney or why Square Enix? Why?
If you're in no rush, I'd say wait until like Black Friday and stuff like that because you might see a price drop by then. But at Kingdom Hearts and Square Enix games do not drop price very often.
Hold off for almost a year.
Well, Willie, what other stuff are you playing right now? I mean, I say that honestly. If you've got other stuff you want to play right now, it's a single-player game, so it's not like you're going to miss out playing with friends on it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to wait on that till what I'm into.
Okay,
so,
fair enough.
I got some things. But other than that, like I did try the Piranha Plant in Smash Brothers. I got to try that out a bit. Pretty cool fighter. I don't really remember much of playing him. I only played like one match with it, so I wasn't sure. What other games besides that? I'm still playing Dead by Daylight, so yeah, that's still ongoing. And that is online too, so I mean there's an event going on. Other than that, it's like just like some single player things going around. Like there's a deck building game I found on PlayStation that's pretty damn fun.
So I wanted to go back to Kingdom Hearts 3 for a sec. And that one of the things that people are complaining about on there is that the graphics aren't really that good. It's got a cartoony style, as they put it, that should work well. But you start going and looking at the resolutions they fixed it to on the consoles now, arguably at a time when these consoles near the end of their lifespan, people found the tips and tricks to make things work better than they should. And what was it they were saying? I found an article on the Forbes site that was the resolution that Kingdom Hearts was running at. So on the Xbox One X, 2560 by 1440. 2304 by 1296 on PS4 Pro, 1600 by 900 on the PS4, and 1280 by 720 on the base Xbox One, which is equal to what your Switch does when you're holding it in your hands. This doesn't make sense.
Well, everything but the original, like the Xbox One, the base model, that does not sound that bad at all. Like, what the? That's over 1080, right?
It is over 1080, but in a world now where everyone's putting out all these 4K games and stuff, and this is arguably simpler graphics than things you have in Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein and stuff like that, you should be able to get more power out of these things.
Now, but I've only seen it been played. I haven't actually played it myself, so I wasn't really constantly had my eyeballs on it. But every time I looked at it, I had no complaints. This game looks fucking phenomenal. So I'm a little blown away that people are complaining about this. It looked fucking unreal. Like, this shit looks good. And I looked down at his feet, like, what the fuck happened there? But we already talked about that. And I'm like, what the fuck is these people's problems, man? Your eyeballs are not that fucking good.
And I guess they've been having some problems keeping it at 60 frames per second also, like they were supposed to be going.
That I cannot talk about because I was not there.
Evidently, frame rate on the Xbox One X generally falls between 50 and 60 frames per second. The other consoles run slower and drop further. PS4 Pro tends to run about 10 frames per second slower than the X. The base consoles range between 30 and 60.
Me. I thought you said 10 frames a second. I thought you were just going to stop there. I was like, what?
No.
Yeah, I mean, anything over 30 frames a second is A-okay. So I don't see what the fuck these people are complaining about. Sure, 60 is like the golden standard, but 30, that is just base standard for me. I mean, that's just, I don't fucking know what these people fucking want, man. What is wrong with you people?
I wanted to bring it up as something I had seen on it. I haven't played it yet myself, and it's going to be years before I have a chance to, because I still have to go and play the first 2 games on the PS4.
Oh, that's why I said these people, not you, because you're just saying people are saying, which I can only take you at your word. So I'm like, what is wrong with these people? That's all I can get at.
You can probably find more by checking out the Digital Foundry breakdown on...
I don't care. I get my news from you, Chris.
You get your you're in sorry shit.
Yeah,
sorry.
He doesn't know much.
Well, since Willie wants to get his news from me, why don't we just kick off where we'll tell you guys some more news.
I mean, if we gotta.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
So we're 26 minutes into the show, and we finally get to the news of the week, which is the bit we opened the show with. We're on top of things today. So news of the week is that part of the show where we run down what was in our minds some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up in the past week, and share it with you guys who are watching live or listening later. So Anthony, kick us off. What do you got for your news of the week?
We got a real short edition of What's That One Where? What's that one where J. Jonah Jameson is Glenn from The Walking Dead's dad?
Which one's Glenn? Is that the Asian dude?
Steven Yeun.
Glenn is Steven Yeun.
So is the Asian dude?
Yes.
Yes.
I just don't know names. I don't faces. That's a little more putting face to. I can. Oh, that guy. Yeah. Come on, don't look at me like that. There was only one Asian person on the whole fucking show. If you say the white person, there's a lot of fucking white people in that show, man. You gotta be a bit more specific than that.
So apparently you don't have an answer.
Wasn't he? I don't know any other movies that guy's in.
I know the answer because I looked at the show notes, so I won't spoil it.
I'm not a cheaterson, fucking Chris.
Wait, you don't know who else J. Jonah Jameson's in?
No, the other dude.
Steven Yeun?
Yes, Steven Yeun. Yeah, I know. He was in
He was also the voice of Keith on the new Voltron.
What the fuck is that movie with the drumming and the jazz thing?
Whiplash.
I keep wanting to say Drumline, but I know that's not right.
No, it's definitely not Drumline.
It seems like that would be a good one for it, though. It seems like a good title for it, even though it's
they had a movie. Yeah, they had a movie called Drumline.
Well,
in further casting news for the Invincible cast, they have nailed down 2 roles and added to the cast. J.K. Simmons will be Omni-Man, the version of the Superman analog in the Invincible universe, and his son Mark Grayson will be Steven Yeun. So yeah, J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson himself is now Glenn's dad.
And the best J. Jonah Jameson ever.
The only J. Jonah Jameson.
I wouldn't go that far. The voice actor for the 90s cartoon, he was also pretty damn good.
Ed Asner?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm taking your word for it because I get my news from Chris.
Yeah, so last week they nailed down a couple of the names. They'd added Steven Yeun, Sandra Oh, Seth Rogen, Zazie Beetz, Jason Mantzoukas, Chris Diamantopoulos. they've added a couple more names, and then like I said, they locked down. They actually told us that Stephen Young is playing Mark Grayson, the lead title character, Mark Grayson, who becomes the character Invincible, whose dad is Omni-Man on this planet. And then they added in Walton Goggins, who was the bad guy in the new Ant-Man the Wasp movie. Some people would know him from Sons of Anarchy, where he did one of the best acting jobs I've ever seen an actor do as a trans woman. And then he was also the bad guy in what was that Texas Ranger one that fucking
Texas show?
Timothy Olyphantastic did. Yeah, the TV show.
Timothy Olyphant was in a Texas Ranger show?
Yeah, he was like a
Donnie
ranger.
Brasco.
It was not fucking Donnie Brasco. Yeah, Walter Goggins has been added, and then the big one, the important one, Mark Hamill has been added to the cast of the Invincible cartoon. So no matter what, like I said last week, like they were throwing some serious money at their cast. They got one of the best known voice actors now. Fucking the only Joker that matters is now going to be joining fucking Invincible, and I'm just excited to see who the hell he's going to play. Because they already got J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man. We know Clancy Brown has been hired. So I'm guessing one of them is going to be Thrag and one of them is going to be Conquest, which will probably be the two main villains depending on how long the story goes. But Thrag is like the emperor of the evil alien race. And so, yeah, I wondered if we're going to get Mark Hamill as Thrag, or if we're going to get him as one of like the crazy offshoot characters, because it's going to be cool to see him do like a huge show again as voice talent, but him not be the Joker. So I'm really excited to see what Mark Hamill's going to do on the show. But yeah, the cast is just fantastic. They also got Mae Whitman. They got Jillian Jacobs, Kevin Michael Richardson. Like, it's a huge cast. But yeah, so this is 8 episodes coming in 2020, and every time they announce something about it, I just get more and more excited. Because also there was a post by Ryan Otley, the artist, not the original artist, creator on Invincible, but the standard artist on Invincible, who did about 150 of the issues. He put up a post on Instagram with 8 or 9 of his bloodiest pages, because he drew some of the bloodiest fights in superhero comics history during the course of Invincible. Some of the fights he did were just grotesque, like people ripping each other's body parts off with super strength and stuff. Blood spurting everywhere, pages just covered in blood. And he quoted his little memo blurb underneath. It said basically, he's been informed that the Invincible cartoon will be as bloody or more bloody than his comics. And I can't fucking wait to see that. Because if they pull that off, holy shit. Because the whole it's no good if you do Invincible and try to make it PG. Like, it needs to be bloody. But apparently he's been told that it will be as bloody as the comics he drew. And that is just fucking impressive. I'm so excited for this goddamn show.
I can't remember. Where's it going to get released on?
Amazon.
Okay. You know my memory's terrible.
Yep.
Wait, sorry, I forgot. What'd you say?
I said my memory's terrible.
Huh?
Amazon.
My
Amazon.
So fucking terrible.
Amazon.
A to Z.
Amazon. Yeah, if you look at Ryan Otley, it's his third oldest post right now. And it's got, like, the first picture is a dinosaur ripping Mark Grayson in half. And it's literally him with a human head in his hands, pulling it apart, and it's just guts and blood streaming out each side.
No, I never read the comic.
Here's the actual quote. I was told the Invincible animation will be just as brutal, if not more so. Bring it. And then he threw up the horns.
Now, I've never read the comic, which is sad news, because that does seem like something I would like
to. The greatest superhero comic book in the universe?
Yes. I am behind superhero. Yes, I still have fond memories of some of these I've read, but so when you say a dinosaur, do you mean a literal dinosaur, or is it like a dinosaur hybrid where he has like human features?
Yeah, it's a supervillain named Dinosaurus. It's a weird character where literally if the guy gets bored, he turns into Dinosaurus. So like Hulk gets angry, Bruce Banner gets angry, he turns into Dinosaurus. He turns into the Hulk. This character, if he gets bored, if he doesn't have anything to pay attention to, he turns into Dinosaurus. And so, yeah, he's like a red T-Rex on human legs with bigger arms.
Somebody, get this guy a motherfucking Game Boy, for reals!
Basically, there's a point in the comic where they put him in jail, they capture him, and they put him in a prison cell, but they give him, like, internet, cable television, a video game system, a wall of books, They literally have to keep him entertained so he won't change back into a supervillain.
So but you didn't answer my question. Does he turn to like a human? Like, does he have human?
I did say that you weren't listening. Yeah, he's a T-Rex. He's a mix between like the T-Rex and the Hulk. So he has a giant T-Rex head, but he has humanoid arms and legs, but they're red, leathery, scaly with claws and stuff, and he wears pants.
Okay.
And I believe he has a tail.
So what I'm picturing right now is like a street shark.
Kind of. Yeah, like a dinosaur version of that.
Yeah, just the T-Rex head and just a street sharks.
When we go on to whoever else's news, I will reach behind me. Because I have the first 11 of the 12 Invincible hardcovers, and I will find a good photo of dinosaurs, and I will show it to you once I'm not on mic anymore.
That's more than fair. I've shared enough pictures with you on there. Overly sharing, probably.
I was just going to show them on camera.
He has known me, guys.
That
it's
sounds
bad.
ominous.
In a good way? Yeah.
Oh, and Sailor Poland's in here talking about the Puppy Bowl. Okay, so I missed a lot of chat room. I'm catching up.
Yes, so has he put in who's excited for the Puppy Bowl? And then he said, you're talking about all these blood and guts. Welcome to the Cognitive Dissonance Podcast. And that is this week's episode title, Cognitive Dissonance Podcast.
That is our $13 title. Cognitive Dissonance Podcast. Hell yeah.
I can't wait for someone to have to read that in the promo read, Doc, honestly.
Hell yeah.
That's why I did it.
Make them suffer.
Willie, you got news for us this week?
What?
Yeah, you do. I remember now.
Yeah, I do have news. So my news is not really news. It's just rumors. Because that's what I love. I love rumors because they could become possibilities, and it's exciting. It's like the old West out here, guys. So Sony has put out a patent, and I just read a little bit of it because, it's translated to Spanish from Japanese, so that's always fun. But the gist of it, I'm not going to read all this boring shit. Wow, my phone is bright. Yeah, that's for you audio listeners only. Yeah, so Sony has put out a patent where it looks like, hopefully, if they put the rumor is they're going to put this toward the PS5, where the PS5 could be backwards capable with the PS1, 2, 3, and 4. And if that happens, that will be fucking awesome. It means I can grab my disc right over there. I can see that is not in a case. Why did I not put that in a case? Of Kingdom Hearts 1 for the PS2. I could just put that in the PS5, and it works. As long as it doesn't have any scratches. Why are you not in a case?
Because it's running away from you.
Don't. You almost got me singing, man. You better watch what you say. But that would be big news if I could just grab any of my PS3 games over, or any of my PS2. I have fucking the Punisher PS2 game. You know how long I haven't played that for? I would love to play it. I also have one of the Buffy games. I think they only had one for the PS2.
There were
two. I think Xbox got two of them.
Oh,
I
you're
think
right.
PS2 only got one of them.
And those games were actually really good. Both the Buffy games. The first one was better,
and also have Grand Theft Auto Vice City Light, aka Scarface, The World Is Yours game. I don't know why I got it, but the funny part about that game is you actually had a middle finger button.
So that is a cool development if they're actually looking at backwards compatibility back to PS1. And we have seen that that's something that people care about, because there are a lot of people that were disgruntled with PS4 that there was no backwards capability to PS3. And Microsoft's actually made a big selling point out of the fact that, yes, we're working on making the bulk of our Xbox 360 and Xbox original games backwards compatible on the Xbox One.
And now, I do give Microsoft kudos for that.
Yeah,
always.
And they're free and they're free changes too. And then they're selling the games, which is really cool, the digital versions in their stores. They make a little bit of money because some of these original Xbox games are like $5 in the digital store now. So it's a really cool transition forward on things. I would assume that Microsoft is looking at doing the exact same thing on their next gen console as well. And it'll be interesting to see how these two face off going forward.
And I like how they're doing it a little different way. Like, I don't think, from what I read, it doesn't seem like it's going to be like, we have to make the games okay to run with it. I think I think it's not the right word, but emulation. But, I think it's something like that, where you can just put in the disc you have, no matter what it's from. You don't have to wait for it to get approved or anything. It's just, bloop, and it works. I have some weird shit over there.
It's going to be interesting to see how they pull that off, though, because the PS3 used a weird processor in comparison to other stuff.
The cell processor.
The cell processor. So I'm going to be curious to see how they do backwards compatibility on those PS3 games because it's completely different architecture than the other processors that they'd used in the past. Going forward, this isn't so bad because everything's on an x86 processor now.
I do know up until the PS4, they got their shit together, made it more like, PC, because that's what all of them are doing now, which is helps everybody out.
Yeah, they're glorified PCs now.
Yeah, so the PS3 had the Cell processor, the PS2 had that Emotion engine, is what I think they called it. So yeah, that was why I was always a little weird with that one. I'm not sure if there was anything weird with PS1 because that was kind of like the start of CD-based gaming. Was around that era. I know Sega CD came out first, but who fucking cares about Sega CD? Be honest. I mean, come on now. Did you own one? I didn't think so.
No.
Dinosaurus.
That's
yeah, Street Sharks.
Big ass red T-Rex.
That looks like that could be in the Street Sharks cartoon.
So Sailor Poland has an interesting point in the chat room. Problem with emulation is they did it well with the PS3, but the PlayStation Classic was a misfire. Yes, you could actually run the emulation on PS Classic on an SNES Classic better than you could on the hardware for the PlayStation Classic.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend that. That was some dumbass shit they fucking did.
There's a reason why the PlayStation Classic, within like 3 weeks of it coming out, was down to like $55 on sale in places because it wasn't as good of a retro mini console as what Nintendo was putting out. It's a term we used to hear a lot. It was a cash grab.
Yeah, other than just the poor performance from it, which is weird because it's a PS1. Like, you should have this down by now. It's fucking 2018 when the shit came out.
And it was weird because the choice of games they use, sometimes they're using the European version, sometimes they're using the American version. So you're getting both NTSC and PAL stuff. So your refresh was different. Some of them were 50 hertz, some were 60 hertz. And it just seemed like it was sloppily done with the emulator they chose. It was just kind of rushed together, unlike what Nintendo did, which was they kind of cleaned up and streamlined so that these games would work appropriately.
I did not know about the switch out, and I do Sailor Poland. Apparently he had a Sega CD. I don't care. You say Snatcher was a classic. I've seen that porno. It's okay at best.
It had what was it, the Knights game on it where you could fly around as that jester dude?
Are you talking about Knights? What is it? Just called Knights.
I think
wasn't
it was just called
something
Knights.
else? Yeah, I don't remember. He had a name. I can't remember. I played it for the Wii. They had a version out for the Wii because it's a Sega character. Can't remember off the top of my head what the fuck.
See, all I really remember about the Sega CD was playing the demo unit at Sears. Whenever my mom wanted to go to the Sears or the mall, I'd be like, "Well, I'm going to Sears to play video games." And this is dating myself a ton here because, we don't do that anymore.
You know what I remember from the Sega CD?
Nothing.
Those make your video games, like the make your video music videos by Marky Mark, who had one for the.
God, you're right.
Song?
So
what's that song?
I misspoke.
Good vibrations.
Sailor Poland corrected me quite nicely in the chat room. Knights was on Sega Saturn. I was misthinking.
That used CD too, didn't it?
But it was not a Sega CD.
Yeah,
I know, but it used CDs too. Yeah.
It was when Sega changed from an actual cartridge system to a CD system.
Which Nintendo was a little late on the memo for that. And they lost some battles before that too. Sad news.
Hey, there were some good N64 games, and that was still in the cartridge days.
Oh no, but I'm talking about third party. They lost out on some third, like Final Fantasy.
Yes.
The whole problem is like we can't fit our game onto your cartridge. That was the problem. So we went with Sony.
That's why they were going to make what was it, the 64 DD that was supposed to be like the Blu-ray or the DVD drive or whatever, or some weird tape cartridge drive, something like that would clip into the bottom of your N64.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've seen
like if you go look at your N64, you can see the stuff on the bottom where this was intended to clip in, and it just didn't do well in Japan, so they didn't bring it anywhere.
I mean, the GameCube had that too, but that was for the network adapter, and how many people use that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, unless I think it was only like 2 or 3 games that would even work for. Was it what was that RPG game?
Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, that's it.
That was on Dreamcast.
1 and 2.
Yeah, Dreamcast.
No, they ported them.
Yeah, okay. Dreamcast was the one that was ahead of its time because it had like a 56K modem built into it, and then you could get like an adapter kit to plug Ethernet in the back of it.
Well, and the Dreamcast had basically a Tamagotchi memory card video game in the memory card.
Yep.
Yeah. They had some good games for Dreamcast. It's just things didn't work out well.
Power Stone. Oh, how
Tony
I
Hawk.
You.
That's where Tony Hawk got famous, was Dreamcast.
Well, I thought it was PlayStation.
No, it was the Dreamcast version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. That was where it got huge.
Well, I mean, probably the music was probably better quality on that one than the PS1 version.
More than likely.
Thank you, Sailor
Definitely.
Poland. You corrected me yet again. It was only a 33.6K modem, not 56K. I apologize. I misspoke.
It wasn't even 56K. Jesus
Well, I
Christ.
mean, it was
what you were doing. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, they actually had DLC you could buy on the Dreamcast. I remember this now because one of my favorite RPGs of all time came out on the Dreamcast. I never played it there. I played the re-release on the GameCube, Skies of Arcadia.
Oh yeah. I had that on the GameCube.
Oh, the moment. Oh, that game has a special place in my heart. When you get stranded on an island about halfway through the game, and then you get found and you make that island your like pirate like home base. Oh, you get to choose your flag. Oh my God, that's the best moment I've ever had gaming. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I want that. There's one tattoo I want. It's that flag that Vice has the idea for his flag. I want that image of the skull with the sword going like in its mouth with wings on the back. Oh, that is the one tattoo I would not mind having. I don't have any tattoos currently.
Neither do I. But we go from one gaming topic to another because I also want to talk about gaming for my news.
I'm there with you, buddy.
All right, so here we go, guys. What we're going to talk about here is GDC 2019 is coming up, and Microsoft is set to debut a new cross-platform development solution with the goal of bringing Xbox Live support to games on Android, iOS, Switch, in addition to PC and Xbox consoles. So what the thought is here is basically any of these games you play could have Xbox Live achievements with them, could unlock achievements that show up with your gamer score and gamer tag, things like that. Basically make it so you can sign in with your Xbox Live credentials and begin doing a bit of a multi-platform effort. I think it's pretty cool.
Whoa, hold on. I'm trying to understand. What about your phones? Where's that come into play?
They want to do it on Android and iOS games also, where they can hook those games in Xbox Live. So be it for matchmaking or just achievements and things like that. Basically make your Xbox Live gamer tag be your universal login for all of these different things.
I don't know how I feel about that at all. Like, it's not one way or the other. I'm just
They want to make the Xbox gamer tag more like the way your @Twitter is online now, where most things you can log in as either Twitter or Facebook. And so a lot of people just have their @Twitter name for lots of stuff.
That's a smart idea. I can't fault Microsoft for that either.
So
that's a smart idea.
How they found out about this is there is the GDC 2019 scheduling website where people got into that to look and see what was going on. And there was a comment here about the upcoming Xbox Live conversation. And it was, quote, Xbox Live is one of the largest, most engaged gaming communities on the planet, with decades of experience providing managed game services to developers that save you time and unlock all of these social and engagement features that players love. Now it is about to get much bigger. Xbox Live is expanding from 400 million gaming devices to reach over 68 million active players to over 2 billion devices with the release of our cross-platform XDK. Get a first look at the SDK to enable game developers to connect players between iOS, Android, and Switch, in addition to Xbox and any game in the Microsoft Store on Windows PC.
That could be
There's a hell of an increase in the customer base.
Yes. So I got this article over on Windows Central, and they had a couple takeaways. The first being Xbox Live players are highly engaged and active on Xbox and PC. Now they can take their achievement history, their friends list, their clubs, and much more with them to every screen. And then this will also break down barriers for developers that want their communities to mingle more freely across platforms. Combined with PlayFab gaming services, this means less work for game developers and more time to focus on making games fun. So evidently they're making it easier for you to be able to link things together and not have to worry about the social aspect. Just use the Microsoft XDK and tie things into Xbox Live. Could be interesting.
Now you guys always call me a certain something, and I have never really agreed with it. You've always called me a
something.
A Sony fanboy, and I am disagreeing with that for one reason only. I am not a Sony fanboy. I am a movie fanboy, and because the PS2 that could play DVDs, that's what I went for. I don't think the Xbox was out at the time when I was trying to get a PS2. I think they were still just announcing.
Xbox was like a year after PS2, so you're correct.
And plus, also, fuck the original Xbox because you had to buy the remote to even play DVDs. That's fucking stupid.
That was bull.
Then the
original 1980s VCR Xbox, the one that weighed 40 fucking pounds and was the size of a suitcase.
It's right there. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, it was a great console.
And let's not talk about the original controller either.
I love the Duke. The Duke was
Shaquille O'Neal,
awesome.
it fit well for you. But and then to the PS3, it could play Blu-rays right out the box. You didn't have to buy a separate thing. That's actually what made me get a PS3 over at Xbox 360. It was because of the Blu-ray. Because I'm a fan of movies. That let me watch my movies. And if the PS5 does not play 4K Blu-rays, I'm jumping ship because it seems like the Xbox will. So I am a fanboy of movies, not of Sony.
So I wager they will do that because they want to be able to use those discs and have all of that storage on there. Plus, so who knows?
They own the right for them. I don't know why they didn't do it with the PS4 Pro. It makes no fucking sense. They own the Blu-ray disc, the patent for it. Every time you buy an Xbox One game, you're paying money to Sony as well because Sony owns that right of making those discs. That's what's always finding a little funny.
Well, I don't think most of the games that are coming out now are anything other than a regular Blu-ray disc.
Well, anything Blu-ray.
Okay, gotcha.
Sony owns Blu-ray.
Yeah, and I think that's why Microsoft with the Xbox 360 had bet sort of on the HD DVD stuff. Because remember, you could buy an HD DVD drive that plugged in via USB to the back of your Xbox 360. I actually had one.
Inbox.
Yeah.
PS3 inbox.
I actually had the HD DVD drive just because I was curious. I got it when they discontinued it because I got it for like $10 at a garage sale and bought a few HD DVDs. And it was pretty cool. I mean, it was an interesting concept.
How many do you still own?
2, only because it was the dual discs that
Which
had
ones
both
are
DVD, American Gangster,
with Denzel Washington?
Denzel Washington. I can't remember the other one.
Wait, what year did that come out? I thought that was like not that long ago.
2005, I want to say.
Yeah,
really?
2006?
Like 20 years ago almost. Yeah,
my memory is terrible, remember? Yeah. And what's the other one?
I do not remember. I just remember that
there's 2. You just got to remember 2.
I think it's 300, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, I think that was a big one that came out for HDVD. And do you know why HDVD went out? What was the final nail in the coffin? I probably said this before.
Porn.
No, not porn. No, not porn. It was Warner Brothers. When they pulled out saying we're only going to Blu-ray, that was the last studio that when just nope. Well, I guess we're just done with this because we don't have the studio support. I'm sure there were like a handful of studios still there, but when Warner Brothers was the last big one, they were like, well.
All I know is I saw porn went to Blu-ray, so I knew it was going Blu-ray because porn always wins the technology fight.
I'm going to disagree with you, too, because a movie I have right over there, I can't reach for it. I pulled it out before on the podcast, Pirates. The version I had came with the DVD, special features disc, and the HD DVD version of it.
Yeah, that's one company. They apparently went the wrong direction.
That was the biggest company at the time. What is it? Adam something? No, that's a store. I don't remember. It's something. But I can't pull it out of it. It's all the way over there. I also can't pull it out because, well, Sunday.
You should just quit
wearing pants. Listen, I had that good joke last night about never mind. We're not going there.
I remember when I bought my PS3, it was actually cheaper to buy a PS3 at Best Buy than it was to buy a Blu-ray player.
Yep.
It was a Blu-ray player and a gaming system, and it was like $50 cheaper than the cheapest Blu-ray player they had at Best Buy at the time. I'm like, I don't understand why the fuck people were even buying Blu-ray players.
That's why people were buying PS3 also.
Yeah. People were buying PS3s just for the Blu-ray. I've known families that just had the PS3 just to play movies because that was smart. And same thing with the PS2. It was a cheaper DVD player than buying DVD players at the time, or it was like, or at least it was equivalent.
It was comparable. It was comparable. But yeah, the PS3 I remember because the day I got it, it was literally $50 cheaper than the cheapest Blu-ray player they had at the same store that I was at. I was like, what? Like people don't realize that this is a Blu-ray player with a gaming system attached. Like that's insane.
Yeah, if you bought one just for shits and gigs, just to have a Blu-ray player and didn't get a PS3, that's egg on your face, not mine, buddy.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah, I can't imagine the PS5 won't be able to play whatever the next newest disc is.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it will. I mean, if it doesn't, I'm going to be sad because then I'm going to miss out on all these awesome Sony exclusives because, I mean, Chris, you have to admit it. Sony exclusives are killing it over Microsoft exclusives.
Yes, that's something Microsoft's trying to fix, but it's not going to happen with this generation of consoles.
Oh,
everything
you know that PS5 is going to have Spider-Man 2 on it. Where you're going to get to play as Miles.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they have the exclusive right for the sequel. I think they just had the one game. So it could come out. I don't know the whole details with it or anything, but it's probably a good chance. But, man, I hope it really does have it. I mean, I'm a little worried because Sony's not going to be at E3 this year, which is weird. That's the only reason I watched E3.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god, I thought you guys froze. I thought my internet went out for a second because no one was moving either. I was like, well, shit.
That's
you
funny.
Spooked me.
Nope, we're just ignoring you.
I'm used to that. It's weird. I'm getting it from guys too. That's a little weird.
Oh, okay. So Anthem is promoting something right now. Apparently, they're doing one of the events live for the last day of the.
Oh, so something new that we can do today?
Yeah. Apparently, there's a storm happening right now out on the map of Free Play.
Well, Bachman, you know where I'm going to be after this podcast. I'm sure you will be too. Fuck food. You don't need to eat lunch or breakfast or whatever fucking time it is for you. We're going to Anthem. Don't you whimper, you son of a bitch. We're going.
I have a breakfast burrito.
Get in the truck.
Oh, this is an even better shot. Somebody's storm flying in front of a storm.
It's all blurry, so don't even worry about it. We're just going to live it, Bachman. Put that down. Don't look anymore at it. We're going to live it in our own way. We're halfway there. Whoa.
No.
Oh my God. Why is he singing again? Stop it. Stop it.
Can't stop this train, motherfucker.
I can sure try.
We can derail it.
That's what this podcast is a derailed train, because look at what we're doing right now.
That's
so,
fair.
Chris.
You're not too far off.
Was there any more for that news that you had?
I didn't have anything. What I was going to say is it's probably time for us to start talking about the Gonna Geek Network, Willie.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at,
I know.
man.
So, for those that aren't aware, the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast is, in fact, part of a network of shows that you can find over at GonnaGeek.com. There's 20-plus shows in the network that cover a variety of different topics, be it tabletop gaming, board gaming, video gaming, specific television shows, geek culture, a variety of topics. I can't explain them all. But what I can say is there's something there for everyone's tastes. And, Willie, what show do we want to tell people about this week to send them to?
Well, you know, when I like to talk to people, I like to tell them I'm a little bit smart. Because, I mean, everyone wants to be something they're not, right? So when I want to try and act smart, I listen to a little podcast called The Intellectual Podcast. And this week I'm going to be talking to you about the Season 6 premiere. David and Whitney return to kick off the 6th season of The Intellectual Podcast. Join them as they talk about the future, Whitney's progress in her journey to full-time actor status, and much more. I am super intrigued what that much more is. It could be anything. It could be fucking robots fighting each other, man. Better than Transformers, that first movie, because then you can actually tell which things fighting which, not gray blobs versus gray blobs. Oh, wait, I'm talking about Venom now. Yeah, but anyway, back to you, Chris.
Well, thank you for that, Willie. So you can go check out The Intellectuals and a variety of other shows by heading on over to GonnaGeek.com and clicking on the network button. We promise.
All right, Chris, I'm going to need some live feedback. How was the flourishes on that?
I like.
Is that all right?
Really gold star.
Good? All right.
Gold star.
Make sure it wasn't too much. And I know I go too much sometimes.
It's okay. We don't mind it. Go too much whenever you want. You're allowed to do it.
All right, man. Now you're starting to sound a little rapey over there.
Well, that wasn't the intent. And now that I feel awkward and weird, I have no idea how to transition out of this. So I'll just say, hey, we like to wrap the show with a little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, so that maybe, just maybe, you'll want to check them out yourselves. So, Anthony, kick us off. What have you been getting into?
Do it.
You know who you just reminded? Oh my God! Is this Watto about to do something to Anakin?
Something.
That's what it sounded like.
Other than playing Anthem and Dead by Daylight, which I have to say, I like the way the new event looks. I hate the way the new event is scored. Moonrise there are 9 possible costume pieces you can get for this event that last 14 days. Each one of those pieces costs 1 coin. To get a coin in the event, the first coin costs you 100 points, which is doable in about 5 to 8 matches, depending how well you do in a match. The second coin costs 200 points. The third coin, 300. It goes up to 900. So it takes 4,500 points to get the 9 coins to fucking finish this event. It's basically not possible to do during the event unless you don't have a job. It's fucking ridiculous that they made it the points cost that much to buy fucking stupid shit that makes your characters look different because they want people to actually buy them and not be able to do it during the event. It's just goddamn aggravating because, yeah, it's one of those things where if if it was 100 points each, it was doable. Like if you played on both weekends during the event, I wouldn't complain. But the fact that they made it to where it ups by 100 points every time you get 100 points, like that's insane. So basically, I got 100 points on my PC account, and I've gotten 100 points on my PS4 account, and that's probably as much as I'm going to get. I'm going to get one item for one character on each one and be done with the event, and I'm not buying the fucking skins once they go into the store for money, because fuck that. They're just skins, and it's not worth paying money. But yeah, the fact that they cranked the math up so high to where basically the only way you can finish the event is if you don't have a job. Unless you're someone that's streaming 12 hours a day and playing this game, and that is your job, it's basically impossible for just a regular player to finish the event and get all the points, which is insane. Events should be fun and should be doable by the general public. Like otherwise you're asking too much of the players. Like it's crazy.
That is the one complaint I will have about Behavior, the studio that makes Dead by Daylight, is they just are not consumer friendly. That is a free to play game with the fucking model they have on there where it costs so much and it takes so much to get a single piece of clothing.
Yeah,
you have to, like, their characters. You can buy their in-house made characters, not their licensed characters, but you can buy that with points you earn. And a character, I think, get a piece of clothing is maybe about just over half of a whole character. So you can save up your points to get free characters, or you can save up your points and get some fucking clothing that doesn't really fucking matter.
You can get a hat and a t-shirt, or a whole new character with 3 of their own perks that adds to your story and adds to playability. Yeah, they need to alter their financial structure in that game. It's whacked up.
It's a full price game too. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm hoping the whole thing will get an overlay when they do servers this summer, when they're supposedly getting actual servers so that the killers don't have to host. Yeah, they get dedicated servers. But yeah, we've been playing the hell out of that, playing a bunch of Anthem. I've done every story mission and the Stronghold 4 or 5 times in Anthem, so played the shit out of the demo. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. I pre-ordered the $80 version of the game with my birthday money, and I'm still looking very much forward to the end of this month where I will actually get to play Anthem and start building up the items on my suits and, you know, making them cool and playing around with the appearance and making them look cool and just flying around and having fun. I'm very much looking forward to it because I really enjoyed it. And then I had found books 3 and 4 of the Galactic Football League in my stack of books I needed to read, and realized it'd been like 4 or 5 years since I read books 1 and 2. So I went back and I just finished rereading book 1, The Rookie of the book 1 of the Galactic Football League. I'm on book 2 now. I bought my Amazon order was the 5th book, which is The Champion, I think. And I also got Scythe. One of my friends at work was telling me about it. She's saying that no, it's a book. It's another YA book that's a new start of a series where it's a world where we have conquered death, and so certain people are like targeted to die, and I don't know why, like what the choosing thing is, but there's a new job they're basically reapers, where teenagers are hired to like go out and murder people to keep the population down.
I want to live in that world.
Yeah, it sounds like a kind of like a new age version of the old school. Oh shit! What was it called? I want to say Blade Runner, and that's not right.
To reap or be reaped? That is the question.
There you go. But yeah, there was an old sci-fi movie. Oh, Logan's Run, where when you turn 30, you die. Yeah, so it's a world like that where, at least from what she told me, it's a world where we've conquered death, so people don't die of natural causes anymore. So the population's gotten too high, so we had to invent a job where people go around and kill people for certain reasons. I just don't know what the reasons are yet why you actually die. But yeah, it looks like a really cool book. So yeah, I got both of those left to read. I finished my Little Killers sketch cards. So all 11 Little Killers are done. I put them up for sale yesterday, put them on my Twitter and my Instagram. I have pre-sold 7 of them, given away 2, and there's 2 left. So they're all sold except for Sam and Billy the Puppet from Saw. So those 2 cards are left, $25 each, shipping and handling included, or $40 if you want both of them. Excuse me. But yeah, I was real happy. One of my friends decided he wanted to buy 5 of them, so he's getting a big stack of them, and he lives local, so I won't have to mail them to him, so it'll be cheaper.
Sucker.
Yeah, so now I'm on I'm starting the next set, which is the Dead by Daylight ones. I've been working on the Dead by Daylight killers for the past couple of months, building those cards up. So I got to finish the Trapper today, and then I think I've done inks on all of them, and I'm like 4 or 5 of them already started on the Copics for making them black and white. And these ones I'm going to do them all in black and white. I don't know why, but I was looking at them and they pop a little more in the black and white. I'm not going to add color to the Dead by Daylight ones, but I need to add around like a dark background around the Trapper, and then he'll be finished. But I got, I think, 9 of those to do because I'm doing all the killers that aren't IPs, which makes sense because, well, I just did most of those same IP killers in the Little Killers set, so I just did kitty versions of them. Now I'm going to do the Dead by Daylight, the behavior killers. So, excuse me, I'm doing those, and then going to go over today and watch some of the football with my buddy. Root for anybody other than the Patriots because fuck the Patriots. So
Wait,
apparently,
today?
yeah,
It is
today is the Super Bowl. Yeah, so
your
apparently
memory is terrible.
Yeah, it
I
is
don't
terrible.
fucking follow it at all.
Today is commercial day, man. It's International New Commercial Day because it's going to be on the Super Bowl.
They already put most of them on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, and most of them are shit anyway.
But I'm lazy and I will go sit in a recliner and watch them on TV and not have to go video to video and fucking watch them on my computer.
Fair enough.
Nah.
Yeah. I'm going to go watch some football because whether I hate Tom Brady and the Patriots or not, I'm still looking forward to watching him play because that motherfucker's entertaining to watch. He's goddamn good at what he does. I just personally hate him because I'm a Broncos fan and they've kicked us out of the playoffs multiple years. So, goddamn Brady.
Fair enough.
It looks like it's going to be another fun Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's 2 good teams, you know, and like most of the world, I'm an anti-Patriots fan. So, like most of the world, I'll be rooting for the Rams just because they're not the Patriots. Go Rams.
Well, that works. I'll go next. What I've been getting into, pretty simple. Like I talked about, the Anthem beta. I've played a couple hours of that. I'm still on the fence about it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine this week was one of the things I made sure I watched and didn't let sit on my DVR because it was Chelsea Peretti's final episode, and it was pretty good. It was pretty funny.
Who picked that up again? What studio?
It's with NBC now.
NBC, okay.
NBC, yeah. Also been playing Tales of Vesperia on the Switch, in addition to some Diablo 3 because I can't quit that game. I don't know why. And then
because you have fun with it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
be loud and proud, motherfucker.
And then it's been crazy weather this week. Like Monday, it was like 55 degrees out, so I took 10 minutes during my lunchtime at work and went outside and walked outside having fun. The next day, it was like 30 degrees, and then we were into like the single digits for 2 days. And then Friday, it dumped a bunch of snow. We were only supposed to get like 1 to 2 inches. We got like 6 inches, so I didn't go anywhere. Then yesterday, back up to 45 degrees, and today, 55 degrees. So I'm just kind of riding the wave of crazy weather here in West Virginia. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I don't like it. I'm over it. I'm over it a lot. What else did I get into? I haven't been getting into a ton of interesting stuff, really. I've just kind of been dicking around the internet and playing video games. So that's it for me. Willie, what have you been getting into, sir?
Well, I do have something I want to talk about a little bit. So who makes FIFA? Is that EA?
Yeah, it is
EA.
EA.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw this. I kind of want to become an anarchist too for the God damn it, which fucking country is it that's banning gambling from games, like the loot boxes?
It's the EU, I thought.
Well,
Just
I thought it
the
was one
European
country
Union.
in particular.
I don't know then.
Wait, Belgium's a city, right? Or is Belgium?
Belgium is a country. I used to live there.
Belgium is the country.
It's Belgium. Yeah, Belgium's the ones that did that. So apparently, I don't know if you saw EA pretty much saying, "Hey guys, you should boycott your government because we want to." Let you pay money to us and gamble. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah, if the other news didn't come up for Sony, I would have definitely talked about that because that's some bullshit. And I wouldn't mind becoming
as a company, that's what they want is to be able to sell their product. So it makes sense.
No. They can sell their product. They just can't make extra money with the loot boxes. They begrudgingly took them out of the FIFA games for that country, apparently. And they're actually tempted to just not worry about and just get the fines. Fucking assholes.
Does it surprise you?
Not at all.
Yeah.
How many times did they win worst company in America?
A lot. I can't tell you how many though.
I mean, these companies are just fighting for the bottom of the barrel now, aren't they? They just want to be the worst.
They just want to get their money. That's all they.
And it's
care
all
about.
gaming companies. It makes no sense. Like, what? You guys shouldn't. Whatever. But I also watched a movie this morning, right before the podcast, called Kin, K-I-N. That was a weird one. I think I mentioned I bought it 2 weeks ago, I think, or last week. I can't fucking remember. But yeah, it was weird. It was the start of a movie that I wanted to see, but had nothing about what I wanted to see in it. So, about a boy finding a futuristic type weapon just in an abandoned building. and they don't tell you anything about it till the very end, and then they don't even really spell it out. Apparently, it was produced by Michael B. Jordan. He's in it for a little bit.
Interesting.
It was a weird movie. I'm gonna go ahead and say not recommend though, unless you're really curious, like I usually am about movies. Then yeah, watch it. I mean, it could tickle your pickle. Who knows? It's just like my opinion, man. But another one I've been getting into, something that I've not mentioned on here because I just got it this week. I had to pull out my 3DS again.
Nice.
I went out. So I had to go out to my local GameStop because I heard about this game. I was like, oh, I never know they made a game like this. I want to play it. They made it for the DS. So that's why I had to pull up my 3DS because I don't have a regular DS. Which, why would I want to do that anyway when I got 3DS? Doesn't matter. So I had to go to my GameStop, and I was highly disappointed once again because I'm always disappointed walking in there because it's more like 60 to 65, maybe even 70% of merchandise in that fucking store. And it just pisses me off the entire, like, most of this fucking store is just merchandise you can buy, not games. Like, the games take up, like, one wall and a little section of the other wall, the outer wall. Like, really? And then they have, of course, some standees with, like, this on-sale games. But there's just, like, one stack of those. It's fucking ridiculous. And all the 3DS or DS games are on one little end cap. And the game I wanted, of course, wasn't on there because I think all they have is 3DS games on a little end cap. And so I had to go up there like, hey, do you guys have this game? And that game was Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. It's a turn-based RPG in the Dragon Ball world. I didn't know they had that. That's something I always wanted. Never knew they made it. So I've been playing the hell out of that. I think I'm about over halfway done with it, I think. Because it's not terribly long. A lot in. Well, it's not terribly long. I think I'm 9 hours in maybe. But yeah, it's a fun little game to play, and yeah, of course, I'm keeping my human characters all powered up because we all know Krillin is one of the best Dragon Ball Z characters ever, just Dragon Ball characters ever. Krillin, he's the boy. Other than Master Roshi, that little fucking perverted guy, everyone loves him. Yeah, but that's what I've been playing. Ah, it's so good. What else? Did I get anything else? Did not get Kingdom Hearts 3. I didn't really get any other games. I'm not sure if I mentioned it last week, but I've been playing a deck building game on the PlayStation. I just got it was on sale, doubled with another deck building game. It was like a bundle for like $5. I think it was on sale because when I looked back on it, it was back up to normal price, like $14.99 by itself. I was like, I'm glad I bought it on the bundle.
Yeah, no joke.
It's Monster Slayer. It is not worth $15. I can tell you that, but I had a fuck ton of fun with it so far. I'm still having fun with it. It's hard as balls. I can tell you that right now too. But yeah, Monster Slayer. I would say if you like deck building games and you have, I'm not sure if it's on Xbox. All I know it's on PlayStation 4. If it's on anything else, I don't know. Could be. Definitely do a search on that. Or if you like deck building games, I would say look it up on YouTube. See if it looks like something you would want to play, and something I would recommend. I always recommend people look up videos, see if the gameplay is something you would like because everyone's taste is different. I don't like Anthem personally because I don't like the whole Destiny model. It's all the way back to Borderlands. I did have fun with Borderlands, but that's mostly because of the humor of the storyline, not because of the whole getting better weapons and constantly doing that. So all the Destiny is Borderlands without the humor. So I don't like it.
I just saw an article that said, is Anthem Destiny light, and is that a good thing?
Well, if you do like those type of games, I want to recommend that you play Warframe. It's a free-to-play game that anyone can just join in, and it plays a lot like I hear people comparing Anthem to Warframe. And I've always heard good things. I only played it for a little bit. Like I said, it's not my type of gameplay, but I've always heard good stuff about Warframe. So if you don't want to pay the full price for Anthem, go in and play Warframe. I heard they've kept updating. There's so much new stories. You could probably play that for a good long while because all the updates they've been putting into like with storylines and everything, all that. So yeah, there you go. Anything else I've been into? I did watch Tommy Boy recently this week, and when I was younger, I didn't get all those the masturbation jokes. Like, when he catches David Spade masturbating in the room. Now, I did understand there were masturbation jokes. I just didn't get like the what he was like referring to. I was like, okay, why are you saying all this weird stuff? Like, Buddy Wackett. What the? I don't get it.
So you're saying you weren't old enough the first time you watched Tommy Boy?
Well, I mean, I was old enough to know he called him masturbating. I knew that, but all these like the references he was making. I wonder if she dates one of the Yankees. I didn't get it. I was like, oh, baseball player. What does that got to do with masturbating? Didn't understand the Yankee part. Like, I knew he was talking about masturbating. I was like, oh, I wouldn't put baseball. Yeah. So I was a dumb kid. What can I say? I did buy another movie digitally only because I would have to order on Amazon. I don't like ordering movies on Amazon. I like to go to the store and getting the physical copies of them. But Hell Baby, if you like,
that was funny.
Yeah, if you like, Rob Corddry's in it. Key from Key and Peele's in it. I can never remember his full name, so I just always call him that.
Oh, Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, I can remember Jordan Peele because Jordan Peele. It's easy to remember, but yeah, that's a whole alliteration. I like it though. Rob Hubel, Paul Scheer, there's Thomas Lennon's in it, and the guy who played Junior in Reno 911. I can never remember his name. I don't think I even know it, so I don't even know why I'm reaching in my brain. It's not there. Yeah, but they're all in it. It's an enjoyable movie. If you like those people's the comedian styles of those people I named, you would probably like it because they're all in there. What's her name from Garfunkel and Oates? She's in it, the tall blonde one.
Lindholm. Ricky Lindholm.
She's in it. I believe that's her. I think it's her.
Yep, her and Leslie Bibb.
Oh my God, she has a long topless scene in it. I usually don't go for that body type, but god damn.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But that movie is hilarious. It has one of my favorite lines I've ever heard in a movie because Rob Corddry is like the husband, and like he's always like something's always scaring him in the movie. Like something's just popping out. Like he's like, "Oh Jesus!" Like, whew. They take a moment just to soak it in, and it's good. The comedic pausing is always good. But at one point, something scares him. He's like, "I am so sick of getting startled." That line just always got me. It's always so good. That's what I've been getting into. I know I'm long in the tooth, but you guys love me, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
People love me. Someone's got to, because I don't.
Oh, now I'm sad this time. Now I'm really sad.
Why are you sad?
So was he, apparently.
Evidently. Well, guys, looking at the time, that is going to wrap us up. So a friendly reminder that we do stream this show live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over on geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. So please, come on back next week. Engage in some more internet shenanigans with us. Before we shut this thing down, you guys have any final thoughts for us?
Bachman?
I got nothing. I'm tired.
I got something. So let's continue this depression on. You can't spell facade without this face.
Oh my God.
Oh dear. We're so sorry, everyone.
Chris,
we really
make it stop. Make it stop.
I'm trying to.
Stop.
I don't know how to do it.
Good.
Best.
I don't know what you guys are all. That was a good joke.
It was okay. It was okay. We'll live with it.
Cleaver.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us. We're going to shut this thing down. It's been a good one. We'll see you later. Come check out some more live content over at geeks.live. Until next week, see you guys later. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.